Hello, everyone. Okay, so this is the second reading. Well, there'll be two readings within this one video, and I'm doing something really weird. Well, it's not weird. I've done it before. It's just hard on my hands, but they're better. My thumb is pretty healed. But anyway, I'm mixing these two decks together because they're the exact same size, and I can actually do that. It doesn't work when they're all different sizes. I've seen it done before, but I don't understand how they shuffle. I mean, I can't do it. Anyway, first question. What's Trump doing today? What are his plans, and what actions and plans? And then the second is what's happening to him, because it's Friday. This one's for Friday, August 15th. And of course, he's supposed to be meeting Putin in Alaska. So, what is he really planning? What will be his actual actions? I love the way Rachel Maddow says, watch what they do, not what they say. Yeah, he has plans to recuperate. He has plans to hold on, he has plans to, I don't know, maybe it's just a test of courage for him. It's not reverse, so I can't say that, unless I had a bad card flop, which would show paranoia and things like that. But I can't say he's on that. He's on that much of an edge. But he is stubborn, and he does alienate others. But I think he just got I think he's getting he's planning on getting a can of whoop ass up its side of his head, is what I think. All right, let me just lay these out, and then I'll keep going. But that one right in the center is pretty important. It's the focal card. Yeah, okay, it's the travel. I don't think he came out of it well. No. But this one is for what he's planning and what he's doing. So, yeah, of course. Of course. Okay, so, well. He's going into the meeting with Putin, planning on hanging in there and having some resilience and some courage, but he also knows he's going to get kicked 7 different ways to whatever. Then again, too, I think his actions are to be weak, are to, with this, knighting up here to the sun. What he's actually going to do is act from his unconscious psychological problems and his own narcissism and his own predatory nature, but he's also in self-doubt and he's exhausted. So whether he's planning that or not, that's, but he's planning on, he doesn't really, he plans things, but then because he's so unconsciously just unwhole, Don Cornholio winds up just being the tool to, like the foot soldier for Putin. And he gives to Putin something dangerous, something that cuts into the heart of the problem here. So, wow. And it's secret and it's hidden. It's a hidden, he gives a secret, hidden agreement and commitment that will cause him major problems later on. And I mean, I don't know. Does he promise him Mar-a-Lago? Does he promise him, something? Is he promising him Alaska when he can't do that? But we've got land and the happiness and things here. The promise definitely is of monetary value with the fish and the King of Pentacles reversed. This card here, so he's walking into the meeting with Putin, easy to bribe, and making shady deals. And of course, it's it's like embezzling. And this card, King of Pentacles reverse, is pretty bad, and it has to do with completing an agreement that they've already had. But he can't. That's the thing, is he can promise Alaska. But he can't give it. He won't be able to give it because that would come from Congress, and I really doubt that both. I mean, the GOP is really dark, but I don't think they're that stupid to give up an entire state. But of course, yeah. Yeah, and Trump wants Greenland and all of that. I mean, it's insane. But anyway, what he's actually going to do is promise something that he's not going to be able to give. And with the Three of Swords reversed, it's going to, well, he's trying to overcome something here, but we've got what is he trying to overcome? I think it's more of like, because this card can be a card of forgiveness when it's released. I mean, when it's reversed, but it's more like, I feel like giving something he had promised in the past, right? I mean, with the Six of Pentacles here, that's definitely our quid pro quo. This is the gift. With the scythe, it would cut at something, and what it would cut at would be some land, and he can't do that. It's not his to give. He doesn't own anything in America. But he'll say anything because he's just so stupid. He's unbelievably stupid. And then with the Two of Wands over here, trying to make decisions for the future. Yeah, this is making plans, right? And trying to take charge and trying to be the big guy with the fortune to give and creating this change. He's trying to create change, but he can't give up any piece of America. So there's that. Now, when it comes to Ukraine, and he can't do that either. He can make all kinds of deals, whatever he wants with with Putin, but nothing can come through it or come forth from it without Zelensky agreeing. So, yeah, let's look at, I'll use this little deck here, and let's see, I'll just layer it on top for a moment, and let's see, well, no, actually, that'll be too confusing, that'll be too many ridiculous images. Let's see how it's going to go with it. Will Zelensky be there in that meeting with them? Will that actually... Oh, that's a little tricky there, but let's see. Will Zelensky... Or actually, you know what? Hold on. Let's use this one. So I've already got the camera up so far. I don't need to be going up and down. Will Zelensky, so if the man card comes through, it's going to be Zelensky. If the woman card comes through, I'll just take that as maybe receiving something, because I don't think his wife would go. So, but will Zelensky be in the meeting? Even if it's in another room, will he be in Alaska? Even if Trump goes back and forth, he's such an idiot. I mean, Trump is the idiot, not Zelensky. But will Zelensky actually be able to be there in the meeting? Right there. Well, okay, so something's whipping up. That's a yes, but let's see. Okay, so here's Zelensky. The dog has to do with the loyalty to his country. Here's the invitation, but there's an ending and a painful loss. So how it's going to go for Zelensky, and here's Russia. We've got something new here, and we've got isolation up here, and something hidden, and an obstacle that is blocked. Oh, and if anybody's wondering which deck this is, it's the Golden Dreams Lenormand, or Lenormand is actually the correct pronunciation. So anyway, Zelensky will take action for the safety and the foundation of his country. Yes, Zelensky would go and solidly he would be very grounded and rooted in the invitation. But then something ends, because maybe he catches the drift that there's an obstacle where he would be isolated. It's like they're wanting parts of the land. They're wanting to, it's all about taking parts of the land and trading and swapping. And maybe it's a small piece of land. But the thing is, there's no way Zelensky would trust anything Putin says, because he knows Putin is just, the abuser. We don't have cards that show agreement. It just shows that he cares enough to be there if they could negotiate. And I'm glad I don't see dangerous cards for him. But I don't think he's going to agree to anything. So let's ask it from another angle. Are Trump and Putin going to be able to take anything from Zelensky, from Ukraine? How will this wind up going for Ukraine? Because Zelensky has, maybe that tree down here has to do with all the other countries, like the UK, Canada, and the European Union. There are other countries helping Ukraine and helping Zelensky. And the Ukrainians are kicking butt in Russia, which I don't want that happening to any of the Russian people. So how will this whole meeting wind up going for Ukraine? And again, if the man card comes through, that'll be Zelensky. Okay, so the problem with the keyhole is that there's change, there's endings and change, and something has to be given up to get through it. So that makes sense, being the, okay, but then the sun is success, the bouquet is recovery, the garden has to do with interactions with the public. I hope you guys can see these cards. I know the artwork is dark. Okay. Rising above it, getting what they want. Time is of the essence. Over time, they just have to get through. There's a burden with what they're receiving. Connections, successful connections. Maybe there is some little part of Ukraine that they would give up to bring in the peace. It's definitely a burden. But let's see. Okay, there's a goal. Here we have the choices. Here we have commitment and good news and movement, especially with these cards here. The key and then the tree again. If I kept going, we've got the tower, which would be like the legal agreement, and yeah. So let's see. With so the key brings through that need to to get through that challenging. Turn on my ceiling fan here. Hold on. Okay, so there. All right. So yeah, this would be him having a hard time making a decision, but the decision is necessary to get through the keyhole, and you can't be inactive. You have to do something. Here's the decision up here, like which way to go. He's going to hold firm to his goal. He has success, and Ukraine has success coming and recovery. I like these cards, actually. And the interactions that Zelensky makes, yeah, he will hold all the burden of responsibility, but he has faith in the people. He will commit to his goals. The key is the solution to get through, like the key into the keyhole. The solution is to think for the, and this is usually an answer card over here, is to think for the future, like being grounded into the future so that there's growth and stability over long periods of time. He's thinking way beyond his lifetime. And he's thinking about the women, and which would also be the children, right? So he has a plan. Zelensky's intention is to make the right decision. The balloon is excellent because it's about dreams coming true and having major success and major rewards. And it knights to the sun, so that's really good. And then the cross is about having faith, but this could be, for timing, it could be like 1 to 6 months. Okay, so I liked seeing this. This is good. I'm glad I spent the time to do those extra questions in there. Okay, oops. Thanks for bearing with me on that. So with this one, I think I'll just leave the cards the way that they the way that they were. Otherwise I'll wind up, or you know what I could do? Hold on, I'll just use a different deck. Give me a second here. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, give me a second here. All right, so this part, what will be happening to Trump? It's going to be a long reading. What will be happening to Trump? If you get dizzy, look away. Look away. What is happening to Trump? Friday, August 15th. Okay. That should do it. Okay. Donald John Trump. What is happening to you today? Friday, August 15th. Woo! Somebody's... Whoa. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to reel my horns back in over here. Yeah, this isn't so good. And he winds up all alone. Going home with all that baggage. Can't jump ship. Okay, so the Seven of Swords reversed. Well, he's being spied on. He's being stolen from. He's being grifted from. He's completely in a conflict of interest, and he needs to protect what's valuable. But this is partly him kind of being like a double agent. This is also what's happening to him. Everything will be leaked. There will be a whistleblower and probably more than one leaker. And with so whistleblowers and leakers about his conflict of interest and what he actually gives up. Wow. Knighting up to the Two of Swords shows that he's blocked. He's like opposing he's being blocked. He's being blocked, and he needs to make decisions, and he can't. This is what's happening to him. It's a duel. It's a right. Hey, I have two of these. It's a duel, and he's not winning. And he winds up here with the Hierophant reverse. He winds up out of his authority. He's not in his authority. He's stuck. And then with the Magician reversed, he's stuck in his lies. He's stuck in his the fact that he has neurological problems, and he gets scammed, and he can't communicate effectively because of all his nervous system disorders. So yeah, okay. He doesn't pass the test. He does not pass the test. And then with the Hermit, he winds up isolated. So if you're pressed on time, that's the short answer. But there's more. And you might wonder, what's the Tower about up here? Well, off with the crown. Who's fallen out? Is this him and JD? I don't know if JD's even going to be there with him, but probably. Well, I don't know. Who cares? What's happening to him is that he's going to go through an experience that changes his belief system. He's going to be shocked. It's like getting hit by lightning, and there's a breakdown. There's a major breakdown. Because it knights to the Eight of Wands, it's going to hit the news fast. He may have a breakdown as he's flying back home. And the way he's going to be seen as somebody, now I know you guys, everybody's going to say, he doesn't have grace, but this is a fall from grace. And faceplant, so here's his card because he's a Gemini. So, but anyway, this is his values and his agreement, whatever, that he thinks he's making. No, he gets stabbed in the back. It's like, put a fork in it. Major betrayal. Endings, loss, betrayal. And it mirrors the King of Cups, which wouldn't be Putin. He'd be the King of Swords, but I'll just go with the meaning, the traditional meaning of this card reverse, which is somebody who's untrustworthy and an addict and emotionally unstable, and that's him. That's his problem. He can't hold it together. So it's not good. Now with the stars reversed, star card, boy, we do have a lot of majors here, don't we? Not as many as his health reading the other day, though. But so the star reversed brings through him leaving, being very cynical. He's not. He thinks that this earthly realm is just all there is, and he leaves feeling very hopeless and doubting himself. But maybe he's going to deceive himself and act like everything goes good, but he's nuts, so that's not going to work. But this is one of my cards when it comes to reversed for going through the dark night of the soul. And I know a bunch of you guys are going to say, he doesn't have the soul. Every human being does. His is just very dark. So self-doubt, self-deception. His eyes lead to I don't know, something that's just not true, right? His nervous system is having trouble, and it's all because of this exchange and relationship where he doesn't win, and he can't stand being told no, and especially by a guy who's much shorter than him. It doesn't help. And then we have the battle. He wants to be on top, but he can't. It's not happening in relationship, and then he's further isolated. So I feel like I've covered this bottom row really well. The wheel, oh my God, it gets even better. The Wheel of Fortune mirroring the Five of Swords. So Wheel of Fortune reversed, he winds up on the bottom. This is his karma. This is his, fate. It's a bad turning point. Like, these are forces out of his control, basically. And he is defeated and humiliated because, remember, everything comes out. So, okay, I feel complete there. Thanks for listening, you guys. Bye.